Welcome back to the Liam Talks EFL channel. I know it's been a couple of months since the last upload, but finally we're back in the seat and we're back talking about EFL. Specifically today, we're talking about League One transfer news. Of course, we're in the January transfer window. There are loads of signings happening in League One at the minute, departures and signings, and on this channel we will have it covered. Today, of course, I'm going to be bringing you 6 or 7 big signings that have happened in the league that I think are worthy on reporting about. But if you are looking for all the best EFL content, then it is going to come on this channel. I'm trying to be consistent now between now until the end of the season, so if you'd like to see Championship, League 1, League 2 content, it will be on this channel, so make sure to get down there and click the red subscribe button. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, and without further ado, let's get talking League 1 transfer news. So the first transfer, Joel Colwill has made the loan switch to Exeter City after impressing from a really good half of the season at League 2 side Charlton Town, where he was tearing up and really setting the league on fire for Cheltenham. Now, I think Exeter obviously were crying out for an attacking midfielder like Colwill, a player that would sit in front of the central midfielder and obviously behind the attacker, that can just create those chances and just get the link-up play more smooth in the Exeter side. Because I think when we played them, Wrexham Football Club, I thought it was just a lot of, there was the midfield and there was the striker. There was no sort of creativity in between the lines, and I thought, Colwill coming in is going to be a really good addition and will hopefully solve that problem. He'll be able to create chances. He scored goals as well for Cheltenham Town, so whether he can bring that form from League 2 up to League 1 is another question. I've no doubt he will. He's a young player, he's got really good talent behind him, and I think Exeter is obviously a good move for him. It's going to be challenging, but a move that I think he'll really flourish in, and I think an environment that he'll flourish in as well. And I think if we're looking further into the poor start Exeter have had in front of goal, they've only scored 28 goals, and if they do want to push on and if they're serious about getting a top half finish, top 10 finish, they're going to need to get a new source of goals because they're clearly drying up at the minute. So Colwill coming in, obviously he's the playmaker, he can create chances, he can score goals, he can assist them. He's everything Exeter City want, and I think, like I said, they definitely needed that different attacking outlet, and I think Colwill is definitely going to bring that. Like I said, 12 goals and assists in 28 games, 21 chances created in sort of a mediocre Cheltenham side, and he's outperformed his XG by 3 goals. So this man has a really good eye for goal, he's clinical, and like I said, he's that playmaker that Exeter City needed. Randall has made the permanent move from Peterborough United to Bolton Wanderers for a reported 7-figure fee, which I think is definitely a bold move considering Randall's history at Peterborough United. And a lot of people are saying he's got a bad attitude, so only time will tell on that. So I think they go hand in hand, having a bad attitude and having Ian Evatt as the manager who's calling out the players every single week and not putting the blame on himself. So I think that's definitely an interesting move for Randall. Obviously still quite young, so he needed to make that right move, and whether that is at Bolton Wanderers or not, we really don't know. Of course, he's gained a whole host of EFL experience playing for Peterborough United over the past couple of seasons, and he obviously thought it was time to move on. Yeah, and like I said, I think it'll be interesting to see how a player of his age and sort of his potential, you could say he's got potential because, he's had some really good games for Peterborough here and there, but I think over the course of his spell, I think it was a massively underperforming spell for Joel Randall. So like I said, a Bolton team that are sort of in a mini crisis at the minute. How will Randall fit in? I think he'll probably play in a more advanced role in the midfield, like we've seen at stints at Peterborough United. Whether he'll register the goals and assists and whether he'll crack on as a player under Ian Evatt, yeah, is definitely an interesting question. He's definitely got the talent, but will that be unearthed at Bolton Wanderers? Marco Morosi has made the permanent move to Cambridge United after his contract expired at Plymouth Argyle. This, I think, is a really good move pulled off by Cambridge United. He's a goalkeeper that carries plenty of EFL experience, playing over 147 games in just 3 seasons for Shrewsbury Town. All in those 3 seasons, he played a massive role in keeping Shrewsbury in the division. So obviously, they've lost Vincent Reyes. Of course, he was recalled by Norwich City, so they needed to get an emergency goalkeeper in. Morosi was definitely one of the best options they could have got. I think I remember in the summer, Wrexham were linked with Morosi, so he'd been a good goalkeeper for us. So the fact Cambridge United have got him, I think they've got a really, like I said, experienced goalkeeper, a good shot stopper, someone who would command the defence, and I think, yeah, he could play a massive role in Cambridge's bid for survival. And if you're looking as well, he's likely to jump straight into the starting lineup for Bolton Wanderers away. So they've got themselves, like I said, an experienced League One goalkeeper who knows how to stay in the division, and I think this is a big coup for Cambridge. Dion Charles has left Bolton Wanderers for Huddersfield Town for a reported £1 million. I'm gutted Dion Charles did not come to Wrexham. He's obviously made the switch to Huddersfield Town, and they've done some great business business bringing Charles in. I think we've looked at Huddersfield Town this season, great defence, a good midfield. All they needed was that new source of goals up front, and they needed strikers who were going to score goals, and they've gone out there and got Dion Charles, a player that's scored consistently in League One, a player that will know this league inside out. He's finished in the playoffs, although he doesn't know how to get out this league. I think this is still a big move because he obviously carries that wealth of experience in scoring goals. He's played against multiple opposition on multiple different occasions, so I think a fresh start was definitely needed after Ian Everett's comments on him. So we can crack on at Huddersfield Town under Michael Duff. It's a good environment. It's an environment where they're pushing for promotion. As much as I don't want to say it, I think they are now in the driving seat for promotion alongside Birmingham City. So it'll be interesting to see how Dion Charles does, and if he's under 7 figures, like I said, it's a great bit of business. But all round, you've got yourselves an experienced League One striker who can score goals, and I have no doubt he'll go there, crack on and score goals. Benoni Birkir Anderson, I hope I've said that right. The young Icelandic striker, of course, has recently made the move to Stockport County from Reykjavik over in Iceland, where he did actually score 35 goals in 56 games at just 19 years old for a striker. At any level, that is a good record, and Stockport County have obviously poached him up. This could prove to be a really good bit of business. They could have found that next gem from Iceland, so it's a good bit of business. He's great in front of goal and has already gained valuable minutes by playing against Crystal Palace away in the FA Cup, so he's got his first taste of English football already, and it's going to be interesting to see how he does. Of course, they lost Louis Barry early on in the transfer window, so he was their main source of goals. Whether they're relying on Birkir Anderson to come in and be that new source of goals, I really do doubt it, because like I said, he's just 19. It's a completely different league from Iceland over to England, so we don't really know what to expect of him yet. He needs time to develop into the game and settle in at Stockport County, but so overall this could be a bit of business that could massively pay off for Stockport. Joe Taylor has left Luton Town for Huddersfield Town for a reported £3 million. If Dion Charles wasn't enough, they've just gone and got Joe Taylor, probably one of the most on-form strikers last season across the EFL. What a bit of business this is from Huddersfield Town. Yes, it's £3 million, but I still think this is a great bit of business. Like I said, 22 goals across 2 loan spells last season in League 2 and League 1. That is some achievement, to go from one club to another and continue your form through in a completely different environment, completely different league as well, and completely different setup. To go and just consistently score goals across 2 spells, I think is a really good achievement and shows the type of striker Joe Taylor is. He needed that permanent move as well. Away from Luton Town, he played 13 games this season. I think Rob Edwards did say he wanted Taylor to be more of an active starter in the 11 for Luton this season, and we just didn't see that at all. Multiple appearances off the bench, but not many starts for Joe Taylor. So like I said, the permanent move is definitely needed, and Huddersfield could be seen as a better move than staying at Luton Town. I definitely think so. He's going to be there playing regular football. I'm sure Huddersfield Town will get the best out of him and get him scoring goals, and like I said, if he's easily given the right service, he will score goals, and I can see Taylor having a 10 plus goal season already between now until the end of the season. Anders Helck, I've probably said that wrong again, has joined Wycombe Wanderers now, the centre back, after Caleb Taylor was recalled by West Bromwich Albion, and with Joe Lowe rumoured to be leaving Wycombe Wanderers for Swansea City, they needed a centre back in, and they've done exactly that. The 27-year-old arrives after playing 31 times for Molde this season, 10 of those appearances coming in European competitions across the Europa League and the Conference League. And at 27 years old, I think he'll definitely bring experience to the back line, but I'm intrigued to see how well he will quickly adapt to, from Norwegian football over to English football, whether it'll be more demanding in terms of strikers, strength, physicality. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how he does, and if he does slot straight into that back line at Wycombe Wanderers in such a demanding environment for Wycombe to get automatic promotion. He's got big boots to fill from Caleb Taylor, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does. 27 years old, so he's carried that experience. He's got European experience as well. He's also played in the Champions League, so I don't think he'll have any issue in, quality wise, but again, I could be completely wrong, and it'll be interesting to see how he does. Michael Helck has left Huddersfield Town, the first departure of the video. Now, it was all going well for Huddersfield, of course, bringing Charles and Joe Taylor into the club, but Helck has left for Championship side Oxford United on an undisclosed fee. I think this is a big loss for Huddersfield Town. He made over 100 appearances for the Terriers, and even keeping him for the first half of the League One season was an achievement in itself, and he's played a massive role in getting Huddersfield Town to where they are at this stage in the League One season. Helck was the glue to their defence, and they've only conceded 19 goals in this division, so despite them having good options at the back, they've got a good back three already away from Michael Helck, but he is a big miss. He was the leader at the back, of course. He glued the defence together, and You know, I think at this stage in this season, losing one of your best players is definitely a massive miss. Whether they'll recruit in that position and bring another centre-back in, I think is another question. Like I said, I think they've got quality in that centre-back department, even if they've lost Helck, to still go on and get that possible top 3, top 2 finish. So yeah, it's a big loss and an interesting one, because does he really see Oxford United as a more beneficial move from staying at Huddersfield Town, possibly getting promoted to the Championship? And you know, teams that get promoted from League One to the Championship, you know, tend to just go all out for it again and tend to have good seasons in the Championship. And I think, you know, Huddersfield have been there before, so it's an interesting move. I can understand, of course, you're playing Championship football, but again, I'm not really too sure. But as long as Huddersfield Town have got the right price for Helck, then I'm sure they're not complaining. So yeah, that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. If you'd like to see more transfer news come on the channel, then make sure, like I said, to drop a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you in another video. Take care, guys.